Welcome back, everybody, to Magnolia on Money, where we discuss everything financial from the economy to retirement. I'm Ed Cox with Magnolia Wealth, and you're not going to guess it. Well, maybe you will. Today, we're going to talk about the Fed, what's happened with the rates, what they did yesterday in the meeting, how's that going to affect us, and then we'll kind of continue to move forward, hopefully with different topics in the future. We can get off of what the Fed's doing. But it is important that we stay on top of it, and I continue to educate you on how it's affecting the economy and how it is affecting buying decisions of the U.S. population. So let's dig in. And once again, I hope this is one of just a few maybe left of these that we have to continue to discuss. Let me share my screen here. All right. So the rates are on the rise again. Fed raises rate another quarter basis point yesterday. That's the ninth increase since March of 2022. And probably the big takeaway yesterday that I got was the Fed prioritizes inflation over the banking issues that we saw. And that was kind of the big question going in. Will the Fed freeze the rate hikes because of what's happening with the banks? Or are they going to continue to march forward? And they made a pretty big statement, I think, by continuing to raise rates, even though we're having some of those banking issues across the country. So that was a pretty big statement. The takeaways, that they're, number one, the rate was raised 25 basis points. And that's to the target of about 4.75 to 5%. Is the range there where they should end up. And the rate forecast still shows 5.1 for a median rate estimate for the end of 2023. And that's unchanged since last it was updated in December. So it's still looking like, we maybe get one more rate hike or so, but we'll see as the Fed goes forward. But the forecast is still about the same as it was in December, or will end the year. The Fed made a statement about the banking system that it is sound and resilient, but the financial turmoil that we've seen recently is going to result in tighter credit conditions for households, businesses, and it should weigh on the economic activity of hiring and inflation. So there's a chance that what's happened with the banking system is going to help cool the economy, and some of that's going to be through tighter credit conditions for the U.S. population. So that was a kind of a big takeaway as well. I did want to put the graph in there that we always see. Here's the history rate. I kind of went back to, I believe that starts around 2018. We can see we've increased rates, then COVID hit, we're at the bottom, and then here's our last since March of 2022 and where we are at this point. We're right there at that 5% range. So, all right. So I'm getting a lot of questions. How's this going to affect us? Well, what's going to get more expensive with these rate hikes? One of the big ones is auto financing. So interest rates on your car loans, they've basically doubled since January of last year, from 3.8 to 6.48. Credit cards, that's always one that gets when rates go up. The current APR is around 20%, and that's from 16% early in 2022, and the latest hike will probably push that closer to that 21% mark. So credit cards they're getting more expensive for people that carry balances. Student loans have also increased. They've climbed from 3.73 to right at 5% in the last year, and they'll basically stay on pace and probably continue to rise. Those are for new loans after July the 1st. And then we have variable rates, or new loans since early 2022. Average interest rate for a home equity line. So a lot of people use home equity lines for updates, or if they're building maybe a little out structure on their property. But they've risen roughly from 4% to 7.76 as of last week, and home equity loans have climbed from 5.96 to about 8% as of last week. So, let's see. I think I think that really covers a lot of what happened yesterday. So, I hope this is helping. I hope it shows, maybe where this is going to impact the economy. And it's doing what, that last slide of showing where your variable rates or new loans, student loans, auto financing, credit cards, uh, it's doing what the Fed is wanting it to do, which is tighten the availability of money, which will curb spending and filter down through the economy and start to slow our economy down a little bit. Uh, I listened to the Fed meeting yesterday. I listened to the interview of Jerome Powell, and there were some questions asked of, does he still feel like we have a chance for a soft landing, or maybe what may be a short recession, mild recession? And he says the window's still there. There's still a lot of unanswered questions as it relates to inflation, but he still feels that there's a window that we could, soft land this economy and then get inflation back to around that 2% mark without a major, like a major recession or a long-term recession. So they're still working on the inflation. They're going to stay focused on that, and we saw that even with the banking issues we had last week, not a deterrent for the Fed. They're still marching forward. So hope this helps. God bless. Y'all have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week. Take care.